Welcome to the third recap video of QWERTY Clash. We're past the halfway point. The gauntlet is just around the corner. I'm the Bardmeister, and with me today is one of the hosts of Qwertycast, Dre. I'll lead you through today's power rankings, and after that, Dre will drop the best and the worst of these week's matchups. Make sure to subscribe to our Twitch channel to catch the matches live, and find our indie game podcast wherever you find podcasts. Let's see where our fighters stack up. Bartledue gets their first win of the league, and then another. Things are turning around for Bartledue. Their new strat? Just stay alive. And when there is an opportunity, launch a Bowser F smash to steal some KOs. Bartledue's priority before the season ends is to continue practicing their recovery and begin to develop their own strategy for surviving while laying on more DPS throughout the match. Ericandor is on a really bad losing streak after this week's matches. There are games with both Ness and Diddy where Eric is getting kills and dealing great damage. Unfortunately, any momentum that might have been gained was squashed by tough matchups that followed. We are hoping that Eric can spend the remaining matches proving their value as a gauntlet pick, since their rank is likely not going to jump by much this late in the season. Kelly managed a 3-win streak where they dealt good damage and were snagging KOs for the team, but ended the win streak with a devastating loss where they got 0 kills. Kelly is finding their groove, but we don't think there are enough games left in the regular season to pull them out from the bottom ranks. Kelly should continue their efforts to win any remaining games to prepare them for the postseason, and prove that they are a valuable pick for the gauntlet. Scat has had a great week of matches, most of them wins. Scat deals great damage and is beginning to show that they can secure the KOs on their own as well. The plant continues to be the main pick for Scat, but the strategic Ness earned them a crushing win. Scat doesn't have a great win percentage and has a lot of deaths overall, which is why they get placed at 13 this week. But we are excited for the momentum Scat is building. Field Day has another rough week. Similar to Nerd, they are right in the middle when it comes to stats, but just leaning on the negative side. Field Day does have good survivability in their winning games, but is having some bad luck with SDs each week and challenging matchups for their character picks. Field Day continues to switch up their character choices, but not always for the better. Incineroar looks like Field Day's best bet moving forward. Nerd Cruncher is balancing right in the middle of wins, KO differential, damage differential, but leaning just barely on the negative side. This places Nerd outside of the top 8, but not far. Although it ended in a loss, Nerd handled a 2v1 comeback situation by baiting their opponents into killing themselves. Top tier mind games. If Nerd wins their remaining games, they still have a chance to close the season in the top half. So far, we haven't seen any standout performance from Nerd, so we'd like to see them step up and create a bigger presence on the field. FCP Xavi is on a bad losing streak. They are sticking to Young Link, which we agree is the right move, but they have suffered really bad SDs and challenging opponents that made it difficult to hang on to their rank from last week. We know Xavi is capable of handling tough matchups, but Xavi will need to stabilize and earn some forward momentum if they stand any chance of making it into the top half. Although Kbfyi isn't doing great in win percentage, they still have some redeeming stats like their positive damage differential and ability to get KOs for the team when their partner is less equipped to do so. Their total wins over the course of this league let them hold their spot at the top of the bottom half. Kbfyi has to take this final chance to redeem themselves in order to break back into the top half before the regular season is over. David sits right at a 0.5 win percentage, but clinches the top 8 position due to their damage differential. David doesn't usually get the KOs to end the games, but their damage and survivability contribute to several wins, unless their partner is also unable to grab those kills. Looking at the stats, Cloud continues to be the main damage dealer for David, but depending on the matchup, we might see another one of the Links make another appearance. Amarelus makes a nice jump in ranks this week, showing off some more of their Pikachu, and bringing more Ike to the party. Amarelus is dealing great damage and has several games where they carry the team in KOs, including a game with all 6 kills. They only have 1 loss with Ike so far, out of the total 5 games played with the character. That's not to say Pikachu isn't performing well either. It will be interesting to see how the remaining matchups play out, and who Amarelus decides to use to defend their placement firmly in the top half of fighters. VShift continues to prove that they belong in the top 8. VShift deals good damage and has no problem getting KOs for the team. Swapping between Meta Knight and Inkling, we see smart plays and an unshakable poise from VShift, who has shown yet more clutch plays, including a one-on-one against Calvin's Mewtwo, where they were heavily disadvantaged in percentage. With not many games left, VShift has to keep it up to ensure their spot in the top half. SWAC Attack hangs on to a number 5 spot this week, despite their win percentage. You can't ignore their KOs. SWAC stands out offensively with high KOs, damage given, and great KO differential. SWAC has their struggles, especially with SDs and deaths, but their offense completely outweighs it and places them back up at number 5 this week. SWAC needs to be careful in the last couple of games though. Their win percentage is on the fence for whether or not they will stay in the top half before the gauntlet. Retrofro climbs a couple of ranks this week, continuing to deal big damage with their projectile gameplay. Retrofro has experienced a few tough losses, but maintains a positive win percentage, and a damage given average of 378, which is barely a few points below the highest. So even if the win percentage doesn't perfectly reflect it, Retrofro is a beast in the league. If Retro wants to climb any further before the regular season ends, they need to either secure more KOs of their own or strategize with a teammate who can take those stocks while Retro lays on the damage. The Bardmeister's rank takes a hit this week, dropping from 1 to 3. Bard continued to perform as one of the top clashers, but they did add 2 losses to their record this week, after being the only undefeated fighter last week. Bard's KOs trail the top 2 spots, but their damage output is extreme, and they maintain a positive KO differential. In the end, it comes down to wins, and Bard's win percentage keeps them in the highest ranks. Calvin steals the number 2 spot, surpassing Bard even though their win percentage might indicate otherwise. This is because Calvin's KO differential is huge. Calvin has the highest KO damage differential in the league. They continued their explosive offensive display, and even proved last week's power rankings wrong by clutching a 2v1 situation. Unfortunately, they were also on the receiving end of a 2v1 clutch. Regardless, Calvin's offensive presence and overall effectiveness in the league keep them ranked amongst the strongest QWERTY Clash fighters. A record of 12 wins and only 1 loss, and a huge KO damage differential? These stats are what place Gray back in the number 1 rank this week. Gray's offensive persistence is nearly unmatched. They helped Bartledue get their first win and clutched a 2v1 comeback. However, they trail Calvin in KO differential, but only by 1, and damage differential, but only by 0.4. If Calvin or Bard were to win their remaining matches and Gray loses theirs, it's possible the number 1 rank goes to another fighter. But with Gray's momentum, the odds are in their favor to close out the regular season in first position.
Our first lowlight focuses on our current number 3 player, Calvin. Usually known for his heavy hits, Calvin, where are you going? Calvin! This lowlight is pretty weird. First, DDD goes in for the shield break, and then Bard just recovers. Not even Diddy knows what happened. Bard, how the do you explain yourself? Our number 3 lowlight will require a a tissue. This little Pokemon just keeps on fighting, but the other team is so mean, that poor baby! This number 2, okay, double nest. Full disclosure, this team won, but come on guys. Oh my god, what is this shit? Bowser can't even breathe. Bowser, the fire breather. Alright, this has to end soon, right? Guys. Oh, okay, cool. There's a PK flash. That's great. I honestly imagine this is what hell sounds like. Wait, take away the music. That's what hell sounds like. Our number 5 highlight shows us Erica's Diddy Kong. Despite being towards the bottom of the pack, Diddy shows us that he can clearly hold his own when the goings get tough. I mean, just look at how he smacks around Bowser. Samus, why are you even trying? This is Diddy's stage, baby. Our number 4 highlight doesn't disappoint. First, a wild throw from Calvin, then right into Gary's forward air. That was beautifully calculated. At number 3, we get a real look at why Gary is one of our top 3 players. Bam! This 2v2 is now a 1v1, easily. And with a quick down tilt, that Martha's not coming back. And here we have another 1v1 face-off from Calvin and Bard. With the throw, and then that edge guard. Wow, Calvin. That was a truly cruel kill on Bard. Finally, our number 1 highlight of the week involves Nerd Cruncher. Ooh, nice hit on Bard. And the SD from Cloud! Oh, he's still in this. And then what else does one do at this time? Teabag, apparently. And he's on the offensive again. Nerd doing what he can to survive. This nerd may have gotten in some quick damage, but he's smart, and he knows when it's time to dip out. This area of the map has a lot of names, folks, but right now it's definitely Cruncher's Corner. Oh my god, look at these hits. He may not make it out of here alive, folks. And there it is. Was that a death from Bard? Chief, I don't know what to say, but yeehaw! Alright, now some more teabagging for good measure. This truly became a highlight for the odds stacked against Nerd. Definitely a crowd favorite, despite the loss. Well done.